We're good to go. We're still at my house. This is a public episode, Jordan, so you can't say anything crazy.
I never do. Hello.
That is not true. Jordan, say hello.
Hello. So
You need to give it some breathing room before you say hello and then you say other stuff.
I'm not
Editors know.
What?
Are you not going to say anything now?
Anyway, so what this thing happened to me today. My fucking wheel fell off my car.
Sorry, what?
In the middle of 70.
On your work vehicle?
No. My
What?
regular car. My wheel fell off while I was driving.
On the way here?
Well, on the way to my sister's house who lives in Baltimore. So I was on the same direction. I was literally, you know where 70 splits off to 95 and 695? Or not 6.
No, I know where 70 splits off to 695.
Yeah. Where the Towson, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle lane, my wheel fell off.
I don't understand.
I was in traffic and I was driving along.
Did you lie to me about traffic being bad because your wheel fell off?
No. What are you talking about? It wasn't today, motherfucker.
You said today.
I didn't say today.
You said something. You said something happened to me today.
Did I?
Yes.
Yes.
You said something happened to me today.
Recently,
my wheel
probably.
fell off.
I didn't mean today. Whatever. Anyway,
I said today. I didn't mean today. You fucking.
I don't know if I said today.
You
I'll
did
have
say
to
today.
we'll have to replay it or something.
You did say today.
This thing happened to me today. This thing happened to me today. Anyway, I was stuck in traffic, and all of a sudden, I had the dogs with me because we were going back to my sister's house, and then all of a sudden, my car just was like bloop, and like fell to one side, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what happened there. My fucking wheel fell off.
Oh, there goes my wheel.
And here's the thing: is like, I backed up. Like traffic was already so bad. And then, man, people were so fucking mad. And I put my blinkers on, and people don't really understand that means
because
like,
you're in the worst.
I was in the worst spot. I was right in the middle.
And so what happened?
I called AAA.
No. Were your lug nuts not?
My lug nuts fell off.
All of them?
All of them.
Jordan, this is an act of sabotage. Someone tried to murder you.
Well, here's the thing. I think what happened was...
I forgot my girlfriend's birthday, and then as a result, she ended up...
No, what had happened was, I think...
What had happened was...
Costco was the last person to do anything with my tires, and I think they just didn't tighten them enough. And I just like didn't even think about that as...
Did you get them done that day?
No. This has been going on for... So this weird thing has been happening with...
This weird thing's been happening with my car where my tires are just popping off?
No. But there was a crazy sound. It was like... And I was like, what the fuck is that, you know? And I thought there was something wrong with my bearing or whatever. So I knew something was going to happen if I didn't go into a shop, you know? But I didn't think it was just my lug nuts were loose. If I would have known that would have saved me $300. You know what I mean?
That's scary, dude.
Dude, if I was going fast,
Yeah,
I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
My dog surely would be dead.
That is one of my... Another dog would survive. You would be dead. God would save the dogs. That is one of my like fears with our job. Is like that shit like an actual breaking or like...
Yeah.
Like one of those things where you're just riding and all of a sudden just bloop, and then you're just done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was scary because luckily I was going like less than a mile per hour. But anyway, so that's what happened to me recently.
When my first car, the first car I ever had was a Volvo 340 whatever. It's the one that looks like a child's drawing of a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was a hand-me-down car from my neighbor across the street.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah, well, I bought
Very
it.
neighborly.
I bought it for like, it had like 250,000 miles on it or something. And this guy had this car that all of his kids, and he had a shit ton of kids, they all learned how to drive in this car, right? It was like their first car. And
Yeah.
then when another kid would come up to bat for being like old enough to drive, then that kid would get the Volvo, and then the other kid would like get another car. You know what I mean, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So this car was just sitting outside their house for a while. The guy was like, tight with my mother. They were talking about car stuff, and then I had a job at the time, working at a barbecue place, like high school job money.
Woof.
What?
Woof barbecue.
No, Hempen Hill.
Oh.
Woof woof.
Woof,
Meow.
woof, woof.
Oh, did you work at barbecue? Barbecue. I almost got it. No, so I had that car, and it got inspections and all that stuff, and it passed, and you know what I mean, blah blah blah. But the fuel injectors were fucked up
Yeah.
in it, and as a result, the car would just stop
Yeah.
going.
Mark Maron.
It looks like Italian Mark Maron.
Yeah.
Marco Maron, and
Sorry.
yeah, but there's a guy on TV that looks like Italian Mark Maron, and although that guy would probably never be caught dead in jeans.
Yeah.
He's a geothermal scientist, Jordan. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the fuel injectors were fucked up. So I would be like, if I wasn't going super fast, the car would just shut off and then like not turn back on for like
Yeah.
maybe a couple minutes, maybe a lot of minutes. And it would always happen to be like rush hour traffic, like
Yeah.
bumper to bumper shit in Hagerstown. I'd be like driving around, and then my car would just shut off and wouldn't turn back on.
That's scary.
And I would
And people
be
are
like,
real assholes.
oh,
Like, burp.
people hated me.
Yeah.
I hated myself too.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's so embarrassing. I don't even know why. It's like you can't
was
help
really
it. Your
embarrassing.
fucking car breaks down. Who gives a fuck?
I'm more like lenient with that stuff now that I'm on the road for 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
because I just see it all the time. But I still do get mad when it's like someone like you and they're like, yeah, my car just died in the on-ramp. Like I am like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? And then they're like, my car broke. You know what I mean? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah.
There was one time I was trying to hook up with this girl in high school. I wonder what she's doing. I think she got married.
Is this where
Um,
that fucking story came from that you shared?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How like it's like stop getting into toxic relationships and just go back to your
No.
hometown
Do you
girlfriend.
think I wrote that meme?
No, I'm just saying it
just
seems
a
like
funny
something on
meme.
your mind.
No, not at all. No, literally, because the most embarrassing time of my car just deciding to break down was like, I was trying to hang out with this girl for so long, and she was so reluctant to like hang out with me. And like somehow like she agreed to hang out, and we like left school. We left high school, and we were gonna go like get ice cream or some bullshit. And my fucking car broke down like 3 times on the way
Oh
to
god,
the
that
ice
is
cream place.
embarrassing.
And
She's
she
like,
was
"Ugh."
just like so embarrassed. And I'm just
I
like,
bet she was like, I'm
like, yeah, man, I have
didn't
a car.
sign up to be with this poor dude with no fucking.
Yeah, dude, I have a car. It's pretty sick. And then
Yeah.
it's just like, because I was one of the first people in like my
group to have a car.
yes, and also like my grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I got it ahead of time and shit. So like right when I got my driver's license, I like had this little fucking like literally would just like spit and fucking.
Dude, I was so fucking stupid when I got my first car. Cause here's the thing, like did you ever do this where you like just blasted music? You
Yeah. Oh,
roll
yeah.
your windows down
Mm-hmm.
and just ride around thinking you were cool with like
No,
some.
I did not have the like aftermarket subwoofer crazy stereo system that
Me
people
neither,
would have
yeah.
where it would like
No.
shake windows and
Yeah.
stuff. I didn't do that.
But it's still because like, you know, at that time I was going through a phase where I was like trying to find all the underground music, you know? Like I'm
Oh,
sure you were too at
You
that
know,
point.
doing the stuff that you chastise me for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do I chastise you?
You always give me shit for being an elitist and having niche music taste and spending all this
Yeah,
time
but I
downloading
mean,
music.
here's the thing. I wasn't stuck up about it. I just was like,
I wasn't stuck up about it. I was just annoying in my car about it.
exactly.
There's a difference.
And also, I used your little fucking blog to find most of my music growing
Yeah,
up.
I know. It's crazy how ungrateful you are. It's crazy how ungrateful the world is to my contribution to art and society.
Yeah. By the way, you guys need to fix your links. They don't work anymore.
Oh, those links have been dead
No,
forever.
I know. I'm just joking.
That's why I stopped doing it.
Yeah, because the links kept fucking up.
Well, so I mean, I know I've said this a million times, but
People don't know what we're talking about. Robbie had a blog.
I was not the only. Carlo and I started a blog. Our friend Carlo and I started a blog when we were in high school called Chug Life, and we used it as a way to have a centralized place. What?
Get girlfriends.
No. Well, no. I never got any pussy from Chug Life. Which would have been crazy. That would be so weird. If anyone was like, "Hey, you run Chug Life, I'll suck your dick," I'll be like, "This is no."
I like how my thing was like, get girlfriends, and you're like, fuck bitches.
I remember when I first started meeting girls who like screamo, and I was like, "What? You exist?" No. So we made a blog back before blogs were popular, and more importantly, back before like streaming music and like YouTube stuff was like really a thing. This is like 2007 or 8, probably closer to 7, but maybe 8. We started a blog because Carlo and I were both like really big. Like, we would just, I would sit on my computer from the time I got home from school until the time I had to go to bed, and I would have LimeWire up downloading music, SoulSeek downloading music. There was like invite
I remember
only.
those days.
There were invite only like blogs that I would go on, and then there were a very small number of like DIY punk, screamo, hardcore, whatever blogs that were hosting stuff, right? Because it was still violently underground at the time. And Carlo and I got tired of individually sending tracks to people because like we had this like growing and what we consider to be impressive like music library and catalog. And so we started a blog, and Carlo eventually stopped doing it because he wanted to do more like music journalism-esque posts. Like, Carlo's posts were always like very well written, and they were like really long, and he really wanted to like talk about the music. I was more concerned with like finding hard to find shit or like good stuff, you know what I mean? And then just getting it out there. Right. We did the blog for a while. Carlo eventually stopped. I maintained it all through college. During college, I got into a lot of trouble with the fucking government because of that blog. And like the RIAA and all that stuff, because I was violating so many copyright.
Anarchist.
That wasn't an
anarchist. You
sure, but I kept on getting pinged for like copyright infringement, and like you mean like when like Metallica. I mean, this was way after like Metallica tried to take down Napster, but it was basically the same shit where there were like all of these like groups, and like I think the actual government at one point kind of was like, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" But like we would get letters.
You're so lucky you didn't get like fucking, because they fucked some of those dudes up.
They fucked the first gen people up, but like I don't know, like they would like shut off the internet like at my fucking where I was living, and they would like send letters, and they would shut off the internet like my parents' house. And then when I was like living at the Bell Foundry, our internet got shut off twice for streaming stuff, but it wasn't me. But every time it would get shut off.
You're just paranoid that it was you?
My roommates would be like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, you have to stop." And I would look at it because it would tell you what you would get hit for. And it was like, I'm not trying to download Louis season 1, man.
Yeah.
I'm downloading like crazy shit, like encrypted off Pirate Bay. I'm not like Googling download The Simpsons season 5.
Right.
Anyway, we had that blog. That blog was up for a really long time, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people still are like, I found my music in high school, whatever. I stopped doing it. One, mainly it was because Bandcamp became a thing.
Yeah.
And so bands could host their own downloads. Because towards the end of me doing it, it would be like a band would come out with a record, and they would email all the blogs, and that was how you got the word out. And then the blogs would independently host MediaFire, Rapid Fire, like these like zip file links. I sound like 100 years old explaining this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody. I mean,
no one knows
what
that
you're
shit
talking
now.
about now.
Yeah, it used to be back in my day. It used to be you would encrypt an album, and then you would host it on like a hosting sites like MediaFire, Rapid Fire, Rapid Link. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they would host the zip file, and then you would give a link to that zip folder, and you could download the zip file because it's infinitely faster than downloading MP3s or waves.
Yeah.
And it used to be back in the day, anything you wanted, you could just Google like Elliott Smith XO.zip,
right,
or MediaFire or Rapid Fire.
Yeah.
You can find those
days.
And that's how everybody got caught. That's how everybody got fucked.
Yeah, but also nobody listens to music anymore. I don't listen to music.
I actually shout out to my friend Sammy. They just gave me one of like the little accounts on their Spotify. So now I have Spotify Premium.
Oh, nice.
Finally, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
It really is a game changer. I use it all the time. Thank you, Sam. Love you.
Yeah.
But no, so I stopped doing that blog because MediaFire became a thing, and people, or not, excuse me, because Bandcamp became a thing, and bands could host their own stuff, and also like underground music journalism, like DIY style, like blog style, started to become a really popular thing. When we were doing it, it was not popular.
Yeah.
And then it became super trendy and super popular. And then by that time, I had no interest in it.
Right.
Because it was like, okay, 1 million people are doing it. And more importantly, like, you know, at this point, like I moved back to Baltimore. I'm like on drugs, trying to not be on drugs. I like have a life now. You know what I mean? So I couldn't like keep up with it, and I wasn't putting in any effort.
Yeah.
I was literally just being like, here's a band from Philly, and I would like post a link.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there's other people who would write fucking paragraphs, and it was like, you know what? Y'all have it. I'm good.
Right.
And also all my hosting sites would get fucking rated and taken down.
Yeah. I did notice that.
And so then it would be like, I'm not going to re-upload like 1,000 fucking punk records.
Right.
That are just going to get taken down again.
Right.
Like I'm not doing that. So then that's why we stopped. That's why I stopped. That's another thing that I really regret in my life, because at the height of Chug Life being a thing, I was, because at that point Carla wasn't really doing it anymore, but I was really what I thought was like principled in like DIY punk, like underground ethics. What I thought were, you know, the DIY ethics. We got offered money to like sell ad space.
Yeah.
Like money. Not like we wouldn't be rich, but like
it would be enough that
a college kid and you're making a couple hundo a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Off of
it would have been a nice little extra income.
It would have been something that I could have built off of, but you know, at the time I'm like, fuck that. Like do punk and corporate, you know what I mean? And now looking back, it's like that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And then there, like, we also like, no one ever approached us for like a buyout, but we had like soft one or two like bigger like online entities like poking and prodding around the blog, like towards like the height of the end of it. You know what I mean? Kind of like seeing if we would like switch over to other more legit,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
more
stop doing
not
our
Blogspot,
thing. Stop doing our thing, and then we would have like a music column at blah blah blah. Like nothing crazy. It's not like the New York Times hit me up, but you know, there were people who were like trying to find the next big thing, and they're like, "Hey, blogs are a thing. You guys been doing this for a while," and I either wouldn't answer the email or I would just be so fucking high on heroin.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew. Wait. What's the thing? It's movie time?
Yeah.
It's movie time, Andrew. Play the music.
He's smiling from ear to ear. He loves this. He loves this so much.
Did you watch Long Legs? Did you see it?
Nope.
Damn it. Fucking asshole.
Dude, I've been gone.
All right.
Since the last time I've seen you, I have been in the woods dressed up in
Have you
Renaissance
seen any movies or
gear.
anything?
Since the last time we hung out?
Yeah.
No.
Oh God. Okay.
Actually, I rewatched Interstellar.
Oh, okay. Wait. I love that movie. But I watched the Anthony Bourdain Roadrunner documentary, which is like the documentary on his life, and that shit. It was good, man. It was a really good documentary. But I had no idea that like exactly what happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because like people are always like, you know, Anthony Bourdain. Why did he kill himself? He has like the best fucking job ever. You know what I mean? And this documentary really helped to show you that, you know, he's fucking lonely.
He's very lonely.
He was lonely as shit. You know. So he wrote Kitchen Confidential
Yeah.
in his 40s, and it blew up. And at that time he was with he had a wife who he was with for like 12 years. And right after that book, like he got signed up to do this.
She was like she did jujitsu or Muay Thai or something.
As later. So this is the first wife who he was married to, like in the very beginning. And he got signed on to do this travel cook show.
Mm-hmm.
And at first it was called Cook's Tour. This is pre like no reservations, you know. And he was gone like 250 days out of the year.
Yeah.
You know, traveling all over the place. So it like destroyed his marriage, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, his first marriage, 12 years gone.
Yeah.
So he keeps doing the show. He ends up meeting this girl, I think her name's Octavia or whatever. And
that's such a good second wife name, though.
Yeah, and she's the one who's like into jujitsu, and she was really good. Got him into it.
I haven't seen this documentary, but I will say, God, like Octavia, the jujitsu woman, is such like your ideal second wife. Not to say that his first wife didn't rule.
It really did seem like she was an ideal second wife.
But it's like that's like such like a like the trajectory of like you get married young, then your shit pops off, but the cost of fame is your marriage. And you're fucking miserable. And then you meet Octavia, the jujitsu woman, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm in my 40s. I know who I am now.
And that's the thing. He's like really hyped about it because it seemed like they did really well when they were with each other. The problem is that problem from the first marriage is still happening because now it's no reservations.
She was on episodes of No Reservations.
Yeah, she was.
I remember those episodes.
Yeah. And they were.
Those were the episodes I had mentioned earlier. With like the kids smoking and stuff.
Oh yeah. And so that's the one he like had a kid with. He had a kid with her, and he always imagined he would be a terrible dad. And he was, you know, when he was with them, he was great. It's just the fact that his job now is, it's like it must have been like a love-hate relationship for him because obviously he loves doing it and he loves like going around the world, but like he mentions in the documentary that like he just wants to be hanging out in the backyard with his kid.
Yeah.
And so it eventually, you know, I'm going through this really fast. Obviously this is years, you know, this is like 2010 through, you know, 2019. And so that kills his marriage. And at this point he gets really like depressed and lonely because he's like, he's getting older and he's like, I'm going to die alone. There's like, I'm not going to be able to make this work with anyone.
How old was he when he masturbated himself to death?
He didn't do that.
I thought he choke jerked.
He didn't choke jerk. He just choked. There was nothing about that.
Let me see the pictures.
No.
I really do. And I am being funny because like Anthony Bourdain, I'm a media figure and I'm a slave to my job. No, I really do. I subscribe to a theory that is not my own. That a lot of the celebrities that are found hanging, it's probably autoerotic asphyxiation.
Not this one. I think so.
But see, the thing, you know, that like the thing is like when you do autoerotic asphyxiation, I've never done it. I never have a spotter. Here's the thing: if you're going to choke yourself to the point of dying while you're
don't
masturbating,
do it.
If you're going to do it,
but don't.
If you're going to do it, have a spotter, have someone there to make sure you don't die.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be, the feeling is supposed to be akin to heroin. So that's why a lot of these like famous people and rock stars that hang themselves in air quotes, people on the internet, and I agree with some of them, like it's like sober. It's like guys who get sober,
Yeah.
but who used to do dope. And so it's like the only way that you can like recreate the feeling of being high on dope without doing dope again. So it's like, you know what I mean? So a lot of those like hard partying dudes back in the day who like clean up and then it's like found hanging from a chair in his hotel room. It's like that guy was jerking off.
Well, you know, he's known to be like this guy that's really personable and like he would never like interrupt someone who's in the middle of like a heartfelt story. But towards the end there, he like was doing that because he there was a cameraman that was with him for like 12 years who was like kind of like a family member, you know, basically. He fired him. He was like, going through all these weird things, and he would always say he would say, "I'm really happy now," you know, and obviously that's not a good sign when someone's like saying that kind of stuff and making all these weird changes. But he meets a girl, and then, you know, he's really happy because he's like, okay, I'm going to make it work with this one. But then the tabloids come out, and I'm saying this really fast, but they were together for a while. The tabloids come out, and she was like, you know, it's clear that she had been cheating on him. And it's not long after that, you know, that he hung himself.
Masturbated himself to death.
No.
You hate me saying that.
Well, I love Anthony Bourdain. I literally cried when he died. It was crazy.
Sense.
Yeah, so that's my my movie review. I'm going tomorrow to see Alien Romulus. So you have 2 weeks to see Alien Romulus.
Okay.
All right. Or Longlegs, whichever one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think time-wise stuff, but I should be able to
yeah.
We'll do that.
I I also like just like for fun like put on West Wing again, and that shit is so funny because it's interesting to go back and see like what was like the thing back then, and the opening episode opens up with like the big thing happening is that there's Cuban people on boats coming to the shore. Like that was,
I remember
that was the crazy thing happening back then.
I remember was it Julian Gonzalez? Was that the?
Oh yeah, is it Jillian or Julian?
Was it Julian Gonzalez?
Yeah, he's like super pro Cuba now.
The kid like who was extracted from that closet or whatever.
Yeah,
that fucking crazy picture. Yeah. Did you watch any of the Olympics? I was gone for like all that shit.
I watched some of it. My dad was there, so
yeah. How was that?
It was just me like looking for my dad in the crowd.
Has your father told you like that it was cool or that it was
he had a great time. Yeah, he had a great time. He got to go to the Louvre and see the Mona Lisa.
God, I want to go there on acid so bad.
Yeah, and then he watched basketball, table tennis, track. I'm trying to think of all the ones. Volleyball. He was really into volleyball.
We all love volleyball. How much did it cost to get into it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I heard it was expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then I heard that it wasn't as expensive as you'd think.
Did you know that? So usually security at Olympics is over $1 billion. For this time, France got a bunch of shit because they actually lowered their security budget down to like $250 million from like where it usually is. It's interesting to me. Like, especially France, like there's a lot of like, you know, attacks and stuff probably that happen in France. And it's just interesting that they made that choice.
Like the gendarmes come in or something, like the fucking local cops.
My dad said that there were a bunch of people there with like AKs and shit.
Oh yeah, I mean there's definitely going to be. I mean also you have to understand to an extent like
there's only so much you can do.
Well, the ecological impact, like the socioeconomic impact as well of hosting the Olympics is like the worst thing that can happen to your country.
Yeah.
And so like they don't need to have the added security of like tearing down a favela in Brazil and like putting it in like essentially like public housing in like the slums to make a arena, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Paris is, you're not really building shit.
They already have it
and
there.
they're not really displacing like the poor people.
That's
so it's
true.
kind of already there.
That's true. I didn't look at that. That is actually a really good point.
Yeah.
I wonder if LA will be the same because LA has all that shit.
Well, like the No Olympics movement is like huge in LA. Like
Yeah.
the anti-Olympic people. I don't know.
I understand the no Olympic stuff for like what you were saying for like Brazil and shit, but like if the Olympics are going to a spot that where like we just talked about has at a like place like France it already has all that stuff. I don't see the problem with it.
We can get into that right now on the Patreon. If you want to hear my in-depth working class based analysis on why the Olympics kind of suck.
You can do that on Patreon, but I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to not talk about the Olympics when we get to Patreon, so.
Like you have a choice. Goodbye.
I refuse.